Hello everyone, this is Michelle Stelling with the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers, and today's class is going to be What's New to Photoshop Elements 2018. Yes, it just came out last week, and it's pretty cool, but then again, a lot of the things that are upgraded can be done in version 15 as well. So I'm going to show you both in some of the different features so that I can, if you don't want to buy the latest and greatest version, then you don't have to. Okay, so I'm going to show you kind of how you would do it in the earlier versions. So again, my name is Michelle Stelling. I founded the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers, NAODS.com for short, back in 2007. And basically it's been a heaven since. I mean, I absolutely love what I do. You can find me at www.nao, remember the A first, ds.com. We are on Facebook. We do have a private Facebook community too, so if you're not a member of that, make sure you check your emails because there will be a link there. We have some videos on YouTube, and you can always email me at info@naods.com. A little bit more about me. I have a 13-year-old son. He's almost as tall as I am now. Some of you that have been with me for several years, you remember him being like 3 or 4 years old. So it's been kind of fun growing up together. And I have a dog. His name is Leo. He's about 4 years old. My husband and I have been married for 14 years. A couple weeks ago, we celebrated our 14th year anniversary. And some of you might have seen me on Creative Live or seen some of my articles in Adobe Photoshop Elements Techniques, and also some videos there. Back in 2006, I guess it was, I started becoming obsessed with photo editing and digital scrapbooking. I used to teach it at various colleges, and I decided to go out on my own, which is the best move I've ever made in my whole entire life, pretty much. And now I can't get enough of it. I love the upgrades because it has some fun, funky things. Also, I open up Photoshop Elements every single day, so I do use it every day. These are just some of the possibilities for this program. I'm just going to flip through them really quick. And because mainly we're talking about the upgrade today, I'm just saying the possibilities are endless. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Now, here's the thing. Let me just check for updates real quick, just in case. They should be good. All right. I'm going to start Photoshop Elements 18. Now, some people say, why is it called Photoshop Elements 2018 instead of 16? Well, I'm glad that they changed it because it is the year. I think it's so much easier to remember. And so we did skip a couple numbers. And I think the reason they did it is because they wanted to align it with the year that it is. No, they could have called it 17, but then it'd be, most people are going to buy this towards the end of the year, I would guess. Towards November, late November, because that's when it goes on sale, usually at Costco. So you might want to check Costco every once in a while. When you get those things in the mail, look through that. A lot of times, what is it? I was going to say Friday the 13th. It's not Friday the 13th. It's Friday after Thanksgiving. You will see that it goes on sale. So, and it comes down to like $49. I mean, it's pretty good. All right, let me get back here. Hold on, where was I? Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and launch Photoshop Elements 2018. Now, most of you know I do not use the organizer. I am afraid of the organizer. I'm going to be very transparent with you all. Now, Peggy uses the organizer for her DigiKits. Now, some of you have already been to her classes and have fallen in love with the organizer. Is anybody out there has fallen in love with the organizer? Say, I love the organizer. Tell me in the questions box. I'm still afraid of it. Maybe I'm just old school, but I like the way I organize my photos. There's another way to organize your photos. Karen teaches a class on AC/DC, so you can always check that out. I think she has it on her site. But let's see, I am with you. Okay, I'm a skeptic, don't use it. I like the organizer. I use it basically previews of my kits, says Trisha. Pamela says, I love AC/DC. I use it only for kits. So maybe kits is the way to go. Will all my tags and, well, that's a question you're going to have to ask. Somebody says, will all my tags? I'm sure that they will, because that would be silly if they wouldn't transfer. That would be crazy. Pris, oh boy, she's got a strong word in there. I love it. She says, I hate the organizer. I do not like the organizer. I don't either. I'm just scared of it. Scared. So, and I don't want you guys to be afraid of it. I really don't. And I really kind of hesitate saying that to y'all. But anytime anybody asks me a question about the organizer, I start getting freaked out. And I'm like, I don't know. Ask Peggy. So anyway, Peggy said that she will do a class on the organizer beginning of next year. So I'm excited about that one because I will learn a lot there. Anyway, let's get off of the organizer. But I'm not going to teach you anything about the organizer. We're going to talk about the editor, okay? The editor, which is my favorite subject, okay? So we're going to go into the editor. And it's going to take a little while to upload. And supposedly it's a little faster, the organizer is. I don't know, but that's what I've heard. And then there's an auto curator, and then there's something else. But here, this is going to pop up for me because I downloaded a trial version for 30 days. Let's do continue trial. I do not want to buy it just yet. So continuing the trial version. I'm going to show you this. There is in the handouts. Let me just show you. You can take a screenshot of this too. If you guys know how to do a screenshot, you can take a screenshot of this paper that I have right up here. It's what's new to Photoshop Elements. Or there's a handout with this PDF in there. If you don't know how to download it, don't stress out about it. I'd rather you watch this class instead of stress out about downloading something. But in the handouts area, and I'll show you that later, you can download this or just take a screenshot of it. There are 6 new features inside the editor. One is under the enhancement, and of course we're going to go through all these, but I just want to kind of overview it. Open and close eyes, which a lot of people really love this feature. The second is a tool that's called the auto selection tool. I don't know. I kind of like it, but I haven't really given it a 10 just yet. 3 through 6 are all in the guided edits, which are fun. Lots of fun. There's a double exposure. There's a shape overlay effect. There's also a replace the background. And then there's a watercolor effect. Now, it would only take me about 20 minutes to go through these with you, so I decided to kind of make it more in depth. So I'm going to use these new tools, and I'm also going to probably put pages together. Is that okay with you guys? So that you kind of get an idea, because it really would only take me about 20 minutes to go through all these. But I do want to do about an hour-long class. So is that okay? Heck yes. Heck to the yes, says Mary. So I kind of wanted to add a little bit more to it, like add a little bit of digital scrapbooking in there, maybe a little bit of actions, and maybe a little bit of layout and design, adding kits and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead with that. So nobody is saying heck no, heck to the no. So that's good. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is the open eyes. Oh, another thing too. If you want to download a trial version, it's kind of hard. Adobe makes it hard to find elements on their site. I don't know why. I don't know if they don't want people to buy it. What the heck is going on with that? But if you go to adobe.com, you need to click on products. And this is the link right here. I don't know if you can see where my arrow is. And then in that Photoshop-elements.html, you got to scroll down to find the trial version, okay? It's kind of hidden somewhere. But if you wanted to try the trial version before buying it, more power to you. I always do the trial first to make sure, because Pris brought up a great point. Sometimes it doesn't cooperate with your system, okay? There are some system requirements, and I'm testing it out first before I buy, because I'm pretty frugal that way. The fall kits that I'm going to be using, actually I'm going to be using Karen from Snickerdoodle Designs by Karen's Painted Autumn. And then also Linda Cumberland has some cool fall kits as well. Filling Fall Bundle is cool. And there's one other one, I can't remember the name of it. But anyway, go ahead and take a screenshot of that or download the handout in a little bit later. All right, let's get started with and I'm going to kind of close up the questions box because I get really distracted by it. So don't think I'm ignoring you if I don't see your question, but I get distracted. So I'm going to close out these and let's talk about the open, close eyes. All right. So a lot of times, especially in the sun, you will get someone that closes their eyes and you're like, oh, I have the perfect picture, but darn it. So here's a picture that I took. And I was trying to get my son to open his eyes. He was playing around and he really did this mainly for my class. But this happens to me a lot and I'm sure it happens to y'all. So I don't really, I like the way he's smiling there and I like my husband's picture there. But let me just show you this one. I don't like my husband's picture here. He looks funky. So I like my husband on the left-hand side. And I like the eyes open for my son, right? You guys get this, right? Whenever you're doing a group photo, does this ever happen to you? Someone's eyes are closed and you're like, oh, I look good in this one, but then this person's, eyes are closed. So this is a perfect time to use this tool. It doesn't work that great, I don't think, whenever the lighting is different. Because if you have like darker lighting and you try to put the eyes, does this make sense to you? I'll kind of show you maybe on something, but so I'm going to close this one up. What you do is you open up the one that has the closed eyes. Then you go up to see where it says Enhance. Now they have a new feature down there called Open Closed Eyes. All you got to do is click on that. Okay, it's going to launch that dialog box. And you can do some creepy things with this. I'm going to make it so that I'm going to go to my son. See how you can click on one or the other? It tells you where the faces are. And then over here to the right, I have these that I pulled in earlier, but I'm not going to put them there yet because I don't want you to see them. Okay, good. Okay, so this is what you're going to see when you first get in there. I didn't want you to see the other ones because this is what you're going to see. You can try these sample eyes, which I think is creepy. Let me just show you here. So I'm going to zoom in closer to my son. So you can try these sample eyes. Nope, that's not going to work. Nope, that's not going to work. Most probably these are not going to work. That one's kind of close, but he doesn't have brown eyes, so that's not going to work. So that doesn't work. Okay, so then it says choose from. You can choose from your computer or your organizer. So I'm going to choose from my computer, and now I'm going to go to the one that says Open Eyes. It's going to know where the eyes are. It's so cool. And then you just pick one. So of course I'm going to pick my son. Or if I wanted to pick my husband, we can do that. Nope, not going to work. So I pick my son. I click on OK, or I can see the before and the after. Now the one thing I wish it would do is I wish it would let us move them or lighten them or do something like that, but it doesn't that I'm aware of. So I'm going to go ahead and click on OK, and now we have a perfect picture of my husband and my son. I would probably crop it to a certain degree and then go ahead and save it. And now we have the perfect picture. Now let's do it to another photo, just so you get the idea. I'm going to open up this one. My eyes are closed in this one. We went up to Boulder last weekend, and of course it's not the greatest picture at all, but I would like to have this picture, and I would like to have my eyes open. So one other picture I did have, let's go to Enhance, Open Closed Eyes, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to pretend these guys weren't here just because they were open before I practiced it. And this is what you're going to see. But I say, computer, give me the open eyes. It's going to show me the two people, or three people actually. Well, it's the dog. So I'm going to zoom in. See this little plus symbol here? I'm going to zoom into myself so I can see. Let's try the dog. That's creepy. And then here's my eyes open. Okay, so here's the before, closed, and here's the after. Pretty good. What do you guys think of that? So that's pretty good. The only thing is, Mary, I know Mary's saying, oh gosh, I can't believe they came out with a new version. Here's what you can do if you don't have this latest version. All you have to do is open up both of them side by side, and this is really easy. I know, Mary, you can do this because you've been a member for a while, so you're pretty savvy. So all you do is you open them up at the same time. I'm going to zoom in. Oh, I forgot to tell you something. Another thing here. I'm going to zoom in, and I'm going to go over to the one where the eyes are open. Okay. Oops. Hold on. where the eyes are open, I'm going to take my lasso tool, and I do have a feather of about 5 on there, and I'm just going to click around here. Okay. This is if you do not have version 2018. I'm just going to drag them and drop them and place them where I want to, and you can do it that way. Oops, they're too big. We'd have to probably shrink it down a little bit. I think his eyes are too big there, but you get the idea. Actually, I just don't think they were in the right place. So Mary, if you don't want to buy, you can off do that too. Yeah, definitely want to have the same lighting. All right. Okay, cool. Now, next, let's go to the next one. Auto selection. Now, I don't know. A lot of people are saying, I love this, but I don't think it works that great. But anyway, let's just go ahead and show. Okay. Here is the after. Okay, let's do the auto selection here. Now, I want to select both of me and my son. Now, a lot of you who are good at selections, you can just take your quick selection tool and basically, let me just enlarge it just a little bit, and basically just come in here and click around and get a pretty good selection. Okay, so this tool works pretty good. Well, now they have another tool that's located down here. It's called the auto selection tool. So when you have this quick selection tool selected, see down here where it has the tool options, you can show them or you can hide them. This one here is brand new. It's called auto selection. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to make sure that add is selected, and I have the rectangle selected. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to click and drag around the people or the objects I want to select. Now, sometimes it does a great job, other times it does not do a good job. Now you can keep adding to that selection, and it's really strange because sometimes it's like perfect, awesome, that worked out great. And other times it's like, ugh, this is a terrible selection. Why would I even use that? So it's one of those things where you're like trial and error. So I'm just kind of selecting, keep on adding, it's adding, 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 and it's an okay selection, but we want to maybe take it a little bit further. We want to get a better selection. So you can go back and forth between all of these different selection tools. So if you wanted to switch over to the auto quick selection, you can go in there and then add. See how I'm adding to that? Now remember, I can move around by holding my space bar, and I can zoom in here and add to the selection, add or subtract. I can make my brush size smaller by clicking on the left bracket or the right bracket. And remember, we can add or subtract from a selection. I have the plus sign now because it's an adding. And then if I wanted to subtract from the selection, I would go in there, like for instance here, I would hold down the Alt key to subtract from it. So you have to get really good with making selections, adding to them, and then subtracting to them. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of move up here. Now I have the add, so I'm going to add this little piece right here. My hair, I need to add a little bit more. So I'm coming out here. Maybe I zoom in a little bit more, hold the Alt key down to subtract. A little much, so let's go in here and add. So that's a fairly good selection. My hair on this side is not, so let's add a little bit more. We can use the refine as well. Let's just subtract in here. And I'm going to make my brush size a little smaller, so I'm going to click on that. So now the hair is the biggie, right? So let's go in to the refine edge. So I'm going to refine edge, and then I'm going to make my brush size a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to travel along the hair. Sometimes this works out perfectly, other times it does not. Okay, so I'm just going to try to make my size a little bit bigger. Let's get more of my hair. Since my hair is about the same color as the background, it could be a little bit tricky. Okay, just going to come in here. Now, let's go ahead on and click on OK. All right, now this is the thing that I always do. I always go to select and I save selection. I'm just going to call this me and JC. Just because I spent a lot of time on that selection. Now I can add to that selection if I want to. My hair, I need to add a little bit more up here. So let's just go up there, click on up in there. A little bit more. Okay, so pretty good. Now, next thing I'm going to do, we can save that selection again if you want to. You can use the Lasso tool with it as well. You can use any of those tools. I just used that first tool because I wanted to show you how it works, and I'll show you another photo as well with that, the new auto selection tool. So now I'm going to go up to Hue and Saturation. So I have that selected. See how I have it selected? And if I were to go into, let's just say I wanted the background to be black and white, I could go to Hue Saturation. Now look at this. What it's going to do is it's going to color me and my son black and white. I want it to be reversed. So there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm just going to go ahead back, trash that one. Okay, trash this. I'm going to load that same selection. Had it selected, I probably have to go in there. I didn't save it after that, so let's just add that hair back in. I'm going to go to Select and Inverse, and then I can make the background black and white. Oops, sorry, that was not right. Cancel, delete that. Okay, delete that. So it's reversed, should be, hopefully. Hue Saturation, Colorize. Why did it wasn't selected. Okay, great. Now I've confused the heck out of y'all. Okay, let's get that selection back. Load selection, me and JC, invert, sorry. There's where you click invert. Okay, now it should be inverted. Now you can go up to Hue Saturation, Colorize, and take the saturation down to black and white. And then if you wanted to make it lighter, darker, however you wanted to kind of play around with that. So the new selection tool is called Auto Selection. It is inside of the toolbar on the left-hand side. It looks like little stars next to it, but I think those are little plus signs, and they'll show up down here in the bottom left-hand corner. This tool is a new addition. So it sometimes works perfectly, like the demonstration that Adobe does works out perfectly. But 9 times out of 10, when you have a photo, it's not going to work out perfectly. Let's just try it on this little ducky. So I'm going down, click on the auto selection. I click around it. I have a rectangle selected. You don't have to choose rectangle, but sometimes it's easier. You can use any of these, but I'm just going to use the rectangle. Now it did a pretty good job on selecting, but I need to deselect part of this. So I'm just using that rectangle still, coming in here, or I can bounce to the quick selection. I like the quick selection better, in my opinion, but some people really like that auto selection. You just have to get used to it. So I'm going to come in here, hold down the Alt key, and deselect in there, get closer, and there's a pretty good selection right there. I'm going to have to move in here, add, and now we have a good selection. Okay, we'll be using this tool another time in a couple sections from now. But play around with that auto selection again, Mary. I don't think it's real necessary to have that, but you know, it's just really up to the user. This is where I think it gets fun. Okay, now these are all in the guided area. So I'm going to talk about double exposure. This is a lot of fun. I'm going to open up a photo. I'm going to go into the guided section. I'm going to go into Fun Edits, and they added 4 features, 2 in the Fun Edits and 2 in the Special Edits. Okay, so here's Fun Edits. There's the double exposure, And then there's one down here that was added. Here's the special edits. The replace background was added and the watercolor effect was added. Now, before I go any further, you will have to reset your preferences because I like to use the scroll wheel to zoom in and out. You definitely want to go into Edit, Preferences, and General. And this is just the way I prefer to set up my preferences. You can do whatever you want. I like to show tooltips. I like to select Move Tool after committing text. I like Allow Floating Documents in Expert Mode. All of these that are checked, that's the way I kind of like it. This one is a biggie. Zoom with scroll wheel. How many of you all use that? Say, I do. I'm just curious. It's one of my favorite quick ways to do that. Okay, yeah. So all the time. So I use that all the time. If you don't have that checked, you're not going to be able to do it. So go in there and check that and then click on OK. I think that's a big, big time saver. So we're back to fun edits. We're back to double exposure. Now, this is really simple because it's all step by step. So over here to the right-hand side, you're going to see what it's going to do. I don't really want to crop the tool, so I'm not gonna. And also, too, I really don't need to auto-select anything. I really want the whole thing to be exposed. But if you only wanted part of it to be exposed, let's just say right around the face area, you can take that auto selection tool and just keep adding to that. And see, it's really weird to me. I don't know. It's uncontrollable. See how it has the little thingies all around it? Now that's the way I wanted it to be. Now I'm going to import a photo, or I can use one of the ones that are already in there. So it has a forest back there, a city. That's the one I think I used. And then the clouds is pretty cool. But I kind of wanted to do it to the whole entire photo. I don't know. I just don't really like it that way. You can then move it if you wanted to. See how you can kind of move it in place? And then you can also do more effects like this and all of these. But I'm going to show you the way I like it. Okay, so I'm going to undo all that. I'm going to go ahead and auto select everything. So I'm just going to come in here, click it, and then release it. Oh shoot, it won't let me do all. Oh yeah, then I'll go in there and add to that. Oh, I know what I did. I just went Control A. Duh. Okay, Control A on the keyboard to get everything. Then I'm going to import a photo. I'm going to try importing Leo. In there, let's see, there he is. Now it doesn't really show up very good. It's not in this place that I want it to be, but we're going to kind of work with that. Or if I wanted to do the forest or the city, I can go back in. I really did like the city on this one. But here's the cool part. You can take down the intensity so it doesn't have to be so stark. You have to really plan this out. So let's take down the opacity or intensity, actually. That's what they call it. And let's not use the move tool right now, but I like these effects then. So I'm just going to try a couple of them. This one I really like. Let's try this one. And this one. That one's kind of cool. Here's another one. I kind of like that because it's kind of cold. Here's a black and white one if you wanted to do just black and white. And I think I'm going to go for this one. Okay. Now, once you have that done, you can also change the intensity and bring it down or up. And here's the cool part. You can go into Next, and you can do it in expert mode. Now look at all of these different adjustment layers that you can kind of play around with. You can turn some of them on and off and just see how they look. You can take some of the opacity up and down You can delete layers if you want to. So I'm just kind of going through each layer, turning them on and off. I know this is a little bit more advanced, but those of you who have been members for a while can go into the expert mode and just be careful because some of the things will be really weird if you change on them. But once you find what you like, you can go ahead and save it off. You can add your own text to it on the top if you want to. You can, you know, add different layers in between if you want a different background, all that kind of stuff. But let's go back in. I'm going to show you something that I tried earlier and it did not work. So I'm going to go back into my original photo. And I pulled a picture of Denver off of the internet. Now, does anybody know why this was a bad thing to do? Okay, if you do not have the same resolution and the same size, yes, the pixel, you will get something really bad. So don't do that. I was like, oh, let's just pull something. If it's a higher resolution, yeah, that would be fine. So what I did was I went into Guided, and you have to make sure that your resolutions are the same. So let's go to double exposure. And I just want to make this mistake so that you guys can all see it before you make the mistake. I'm going to select all because I want to just select everything. You can, you can just use whatever you want to as far as the auto select. I'm going to go in to import a picture. Here's the Denver. Of course, it's not the greatest high quality and it's going to show. See how bad that looks? So as soon as you see something that looks like that, you're going to say, ah, that's not going to work. So when you're taking photos, be thinking about keeping them the same resolution. Now let's import Leo again. And I'm going to show you something. Those of you who are more kind of like advanced or intermediate users, let's go into the effect. Let's go into the Move tool. And I'm going to move him down on the bottom right-hand corner. So I took what's called the Move tool, which is right here. It says number 4. Use the Move tool to position the superimposed photo. Okay? I know, isn't that sweet? So we can move little guy, Leo. We can also change different effects. We can make the size smaller or larger. So see these little nodes right here? I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Put him right about here, right on his shoulder there. Click on the green check mark and then effects. So I'm going to go in and try the different effects here. So there's 1, there's 2. Oh, that's kind of cute. Here's 3, 4, 5. I like that kind of 6, 7, and there's another one. Okay, so you guys have to pick one. I'm just going to pick this one for now. And then the intensity, I might take it down or up a little bit. I can go back into next. I can go into the expert mode, and there's where I can still have a lot of fun with this photo. So trial and error. Trial and error. Yeah, you can. You can definitely do all this stuff manually. It just, the steps are what might save you some minutes. All right. Okay. Yes, I think you're right, Paula. Definitely. So that is one more addition. Here's another cool one. It's called the shape overlay, but this can also be done in earlier versions. I just found, I worked on it before this class because I thought, you know what? I want people to know how to do it in other versions. So this can also be done. It's just a lot quicker in this version. So I'm going to show you this photo that I took. Oops, that's not the right one. Let's go back in and do this one. And what I want to do is create a really cool shape effect. So if you go to Guided, go to Fun Edits, you go down where it says, let me just hide this thing real quick. You go down where it says Shape Overlay Effect. Then you follow each step. I'm going to click on Select a Shape. There's a bunch of different shapes, and you can have these shapes also in version 15. So I'm going to scroll down. I personally kind of liked this one right here. So I'm going to take that shape. I'm going to take it from the corners. Okay. Make it the size I want it to be. I want it to be about like so. And then I click on the check mark. Down here, see the green check mark there. Then I'm going to click on Outside Effect, and you can do black outline, white. You can do, can't remember what this one's called. That's kind of funky. You can also do black and white for the outskirts. You can do extrude, which I kind of thought was cool. Takes a little bit of time for that one. Okay, that was extrude. This one here is called sepia. This one here is called green. And this one here is called blues. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Here's one that shows the different intensity levels, like you can do some pattern backgrounds. I kind of, for this one, I'm just going to use a checkerboard, which means that it's transparent. You can do inside, outside as well. So if I wanted to go to inside and I wanted to do some funky stuff to the inside, I could do that with all these different effects. Oops, I think I told it too many times. It's kind of stuck. Ooh, that's too dark. Here's another one. If you don't like these effects, all you have to do is click on this here where it says no effect, and you're good to go. So I'm just going to go back to my original. I can then go ahead and crop it to shape, or I'm just going to go with next, and I'm going to go into expert mode. Now, this is where I'm going to start working on a layout. How many of you would like me to show you how to put a quick layout together, a 12 by 12, and use this piece? Say yes, you have time. Okay. All right, so absolutely. So now this is what I'm going to do. Over here to the right-hand side, you're going to see these different layers. Okay. So I'm turning them on and off so you can see them. All right, so what I want to do, let me just think about this, is I want to take this layer and this layer, I believe, and then merge them together. So right click and merge layers. Now I'm going to go over, I'm going to open up a background piece of paper. This one is called Painted Autumn. Remember at the beginning I showed you Snickerdoodle Designs, their collection. I'm going to take then this, drag it and drop it over to the right hand side, and then I'm going to close this up because I no longer need it. Okay, so I've got this, and I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. So I'm going to take it from one of the corners. Remember, you have to have like constrained proportions checked and all that fun stuff down there. I'm going to click on this. Now I'm going to start adding pieces of this kit. So I'm going to go File and Place. I'm going to place a border on the left-hand side. Just drag it and drop it into place. And then I'm going to go to File and Place. There's another little thing I want to bring in. It's kind of cool. I'm just going to have this hang up over the top of it. And then I'm going to go ahead and place some word art, which came with that kit. So I'm going to go File and Place. This will fit perfectly down the bottom right-hand corner. Click on the check mark. I can always enlarge it or shrink it if I needed to. And then I don't think there was there anything else? Let me look here. That didn't really fit very well there, so that's all good. I don't think I needed anything else. Let me just see what this looks like. So there's another quote if you wanted to use it. You know, there's like 5 or 6 different quotes that she had in there. So I'm just going to drag that to the trash can because I don't need that one. I think this one was the best. I'm going to move this on over. I can put a drop shadow on that if I wanted to. So I could go over to the drop shadow. I'm going to go over to Layer, Layer Style. Layer style, style settings, drop shadow. See how it did it? I don't know if you saw that because it was pretty quick. Let me just kind of zoom in there. See that drop shadow there? Gives it kind of a cool drop shadow 3D look. Zoom back out, and there you have a layout. Do you guys want me to show you how to do this without version 2018? Yes? Okay, so let me do that real quick, okay? I'm just going to delete this layer because basically that's the only thing that you have that's different, okay? Now, let's delete that. Let's go back and open up that photo so you guys can do this. Oops, that's not the right photo. You guys can do this in version 15. Let's get this guy here. Okay, all you got to do is in your toolbar on the left-hand side, you pick your shapes. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 up on the second row. You go down here. Hold on one second. You go down here and click on this first one. See that? Then you see all shapes. You can find all shapes. And I'm just going to scroll down real quick. There's all kinds of shapes you can pick. This one happens to be right about here. You click on that. You drag and drop over the top of it. Now I know there's a couple more steps on this, but you can still do it. You take that shape. You try to drag it below the background, but it's not going to let you. So you double click on background, click on OK. Then you take it, drag it, drop it below the background. Then you go back up to that top layer, right click, create clipping mask, and there you have it. Okay, I'm going to right click. I'm going to merge visible. And then I'm going to take this and move it over. And there you have the exact pretty much same thing, just a few steps more, and you're good to go. You can put a drop shadow on that if you want to, and all that. So yes, you can do that in version 15. I know Adobe would probably not be happy with me showing you that, but I feel like I need to. Cool? You guys all good? How's everybody doing? I'm taking a breather right now. We still have lots, not lots, but a few more things to go. Okay? All right. Cool, cool, cool. Let me just make a little note here because I just remembered something. Hold on. Okay. What is the box next to the constraint? What is the box next to the constraint when you resize? Not sure. Let me look. The box next to the restrain. Okay, so when I click on this, you know what? I never use that, but I bet you can like do a different reference point. So if you want to reference point it here, then you constrain it there. I don't know. Good question. I always do it from the middle. I always do it from the middle, but I guess you can try different ones. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so thanks for getting me. Okay, you're very welcome. I know a couple people didn't get the reminder email. Okay, replace background. I know you guys are gonna. I kind of like this one. It's pretty cool, but you can still do this in version 15. So no worries there. Let's pull up my cute little guy here. I know this is not the greatest picture, but we're going to change the background to this, okay? So let's change the background. I'm going to go up to Guided. I'm going to go to Special Edits because we're in a different area now. The very first one here says Replace Background. Now, this is where the auto selection kind of works out pretty good. So I'm going to use this auto selection right here. So I'm going to click and drag around my sun and cross our fingers, and it did a pretty good job. See? Sometimes it does. Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. It's not perfect, I tell you that much. But I'm going to come in here. I'm going to box around this area. Okay, so now I hold my Alt key down and I box around the area. Perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead with the quick selection and just add that little piece there. I'm going to kind of clean that up just a bit. I know it's kind of finicky right there, and I'm being very finicky. I'm holding down my space bar to kind of move around. Now remember, the Alt key subtracts from it, and then when you release it, it is a plus sign. So let's just pretend that's good. Okay, we got the selection, perfect. Now import a photo. Now here's another one where if you do not have a similar resolution, you might run into problems, but these are all similar res. Now notice here in the bottom right hand corner, as you see, there's something not added down there, so we can go back and we can refine that if we wanted to, or we can move this photo. Okay, we can make him smaller if we want to. See, if I take this, make him a little smaller, move him on over, and there we go. We can refine the brush if we want to. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll show you in my next one. But you can also do different backgrounds. I'm going to go back in. You can color match. So if you don't think the coloring is the same, now I didn't see much of a difference, and I'm not going to select this because in my case, it took forever, and I don't want my system to bomb on me while I'm doing a class. But you can click on Auto Color Tone, and it will hopefully kind of tone it to the same picture in the background. I didn't see much of a change. I'm not going to push it because I don't want to. It took a long time last time I tried it. But let me just do the refine edge real quick. See that edge on the bottom right hand corner? Here, let me just get zoomed on in there. It didn't, see down here? I'm going to click on refine brush, and I'm going to add to that. See how I'm adding in that? And adding a little bit over here. I can subtract from it by holding down these, or clicking on the subtract one. It's like a mask, remember the masking. Now I'm over on the left hand side now, okay? And then I can go back to my move tool and move him in place. Now let's try this. Let's go back and let's, let me see here what's, hold on. I've got all these little, I'm going to go back to the original, do the exact same thing really, really quickly because I'm going to show you something else. I'm going to pretend that that's perfect. And then I'm going to click on presets instead. So if I click on presets down here, I can go in here and I can put a different background in there. They have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 12 different presets in here that you can use. Okay, so this is kind of cool too. All right, so that is located. Let's cancel that, go back over here, see where it says import a photo or presets. You click on preset, or you can do none. So you have a background like this, or you can do a color. So if you want to pick a color, fill it with a color. Oops, why did it not do blue? Oh, I see. So you can do that. All right. Now let's do one more photo. Let's cancel that. Close out of that. Let's go File and Open. See, these are 3 different pictures here that I did earlier. So let me just open them all up. Let's just show you these. Oops, goodness, I gotta go to expert mode. We just open them up so you can see, same picture of me and my sisters in different backgrounds. Now this was a little bit harder to select. You're gonna have to have more patience for this one. It's not as perfect as the other one. So let's go to File and Open, our original. Gonna go to Guided. Gonna go back to Background, Replace. Gonna hit my auto. Let's just see how good this works. Cross our fingers, please. Not bad, but let's see that most of my sister isn't selected there, so let's just see if we can't select her. Okay, it's not going to work that way, so let's take the quick brush and quick brush it in, which I think is so much easier than the auto. And let's just pretend that that is good enough, because I don't want to sit there and take up your time doing a selection. But you can, remember, you can go into Refine Edge. You can refine the edge of the hair, all that fun stuff. Click on OK. And I'm going to go to Import a Photo. Let's just go with this one right here. And looks halfway decent. I forgot to do that, which you can do by refining the edge and this and that and the other. You can go into Presets. Click on any of these. And there you have it. Now here's something I wanted to tell you, Okay, I wanted to show you that if you have something like this guy here, and you have him, let's go back into replace background, and you have him on a vertical instead of a horizontal. Let me just go in here and see how this works with him. Just really quickly, do an auto select. Not bad, not bad. A little bit in here that I would have to take off. Quick select, Alt to deselect. Okay, let's just pretend we like it. Now let's say we want to import a photo. It's only going to bring part of that photo in. So that's not a landscape. It'll just bring part of that in. Okay, and of course that makes sense, but I just wanted to show you that it is a little bit different when you have a different horizontal or a vertical. Okay, all right, how do you like that tool so far? What do you think about the tools? We have one more to, wait, how many more we got to cover? Hold on. We got one more to cover, and I'm going to do a layout with that one. You guys, thumbs up for Photoshop 2018. You think you're going to get it? Now, if you have version like 13 or 14, I think it's definitely worth the money. But if you have version 15 and you just bought it and you're kind of tight for cash, then you may not need it. You know what I mean? A lot, everything else you can do in version 15. Okay, so let's do one more. Let's do another fun one here. Let's go in to open up a photo, Watercolor Effect. And I'm going to do this, since you've seen my son so many times, let's just work on, let's do this one. Okay, so I'm going to click on Watercolor Effect. And then I'm going to come over here to see the different choices. So I'm going to click on Effect 1, see what happens. Cross our fingers. That's weird. Okay, and then actually after that, don't stop there. Go to click to watercolor paper and then try different papers out on it. I just don't really like this picture with the watercolor effect. So I'm trying different papers over the top of it. I can bring down the opacity if I want to. Let's try effect number 2. Effect number 2, let's try that one. And again, it is a filter, so it's going to take a while. I should have probably knocked down the resolution. And okay, so you're going to freak out when it first does this, but don't worry. Go back to watercolor papers and then try different papers on it. Okay, some people say, oh, I don't like that, and then they don't even try the papers on it. That's kind of cool. And let's see. I kind of like this one. Wait, which one was it? This one? I like that one. And then you can take down the opacity if you want to. I kind of like the opacity way up. You can add canvas texture on there if you want. So you can pull it the intensity really high or low. You can't really see it very well, but if you zoom in, you can kind of see a little bit of the texture. Okay, then the cool thing is you can add type to it, but I would probably wait and add type to the next part. You can, let me just click on type tool. You just click one time, Leo 2018. So you can type that in. You can rotate it how you want. But the thing is if you are good with Photoshop Elements, the expert mode, you might want to wait and add the text there because you have a little bit more leeway with that. So I just added some text. I should be able to go in there and change the color of the text. So if I wanted to pull in a color from my actual picture here, I should be able to do that. And then if I wanted to, I think I can add text styles to that as well. Okay, but again, I would probably leave that and do that inside of the next step, which would be in expert mode. So you can come in here, see all the different layers that you got going here, and then add it at that point. But how you can go in there and you can add more to it here. So you can go to layer, layer style, style settings, Let's just do a little bit more of a drop shadow. Let's do a bevel for people who've never seen that before. It's a nice little bevel there. Click on OK. And this is where it gets kind of fun. You can take this and merge it all together and then create a layout from this. So watch this. I can go File and Open. Where is, oh, here it is. Let's just cancel that. Let's go in. Let's open up a piece of paper. Let's go to, where did I have that paper? Hold on. Let's go in here and bring in this piece of paper. And I'm going to move this entire piece over there. So if I were to select all of them, right click and merge layers, I can then take my move tool and drag that into this piece of paper. And then if I wanted to, I can shrink this down some so I can create a nice layout. And then I can add whatever I want to this page. Okay, so is that making sense how everything's kind of tying together? Now, in another layout, the one that I had of JC and New York, I wanted to show you how I put that paper together as well. So I probably can do that in about 5 minutes or so. But just kind of giving you guys ideas of how this works. So let me go back in there. You can do all kinds of things with that watercolor. It's super, super cool. But if I wanted to go back in and do that layout, I forgot to kind of show you about this layout right here. It's super easy to combine all that together. Okay, so here's how it goes. You just open up the photo. Okay, you go into Guided. You go into Fun Edits. You go to Double Exposure. Good thing this is being recorded, right? You go in. I'm going to select the whole thing. I just go Control A. I'm going to import. Nope, I'm not going to import. I'm just going to go ahead and use their city. Okay, and then I'm going to come down here. I'm going to take it down a little bit. I'm also going to do a cool effect. I don't know which one I liked the best, but let's go with this. Let's just go with this one. Click on Next. Go to in Expert Mode. And then I cropped it and made it more of a landscape type of thing. So I'm going to go get my crop tool. I'm going to crop it to landscape. So I'm going to pull these little nodes. Okay, pull this up. Maybe pull it down a little bit. Click on OK. All right. Next, I'm going to go to the very top layer. I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to go get my rectangle marquee tool. I'm going to make a block right down here where I'm going to put New York City. Let's move that up. Sorry, I'm going to move that up above that layer. I don't want it to be in there. Why does it go in there? There we go. Drives me crazy. Okay, now see how it's above that layer there? I'm going to fill that with my paint bucket, fill it with a color. I think I used blue or dark blue, so let's just go in there and get a dark blue from this layout. Let's go over here. Probably a deep blue like that. Fill it with that. I'm going to deselect. I'm going to get my text tool. I'm going to probably go with a white color. I'm going to type New York City. I hope that's what it is. I just assumed it. I'm going to do 2017. I'm going to make my size a little bit smaller. I know I'm going quick with this, but you can rewatch it a few times. Okay, pull that in here. I can take down the opacity because it is really, really stark. Or I can change it to a different color. But let's just take down the opacity so you know how to do that. You go to that layer, pull down the opacity right about there. That looks pretty good. And then do you guys all know how to add a stroke around this or a double stroke? Do you want me to show you how to do that? I had a double stroke on there. Okay, let me show you real quick. All I had to do is add a layer on the very top. I select all. I'm going to go with a white and maybe a white and a gray color. So I'm going to go to Edit, Stroke Outline Selection. Let's see how much that is. Oh, I needed to, okay, a white, real thick one. And then over the top of that, I'm just going to go ahead and change the color to this on top. Edit, Stroke Outline Selection. How many is that? 100? What is that? 135. Let's just go with 100. A little bit smaller. Click on OK. And now you've got a really cool layout. Whew! I finished 4 minutes after. Now, a lot of you are asking about membership because this is being recorded. It will be put inside the membership for those of you who are members to watch it over and over again. A lot of this stuff can be done in earlier versions, but if you have the money and you want to do these funky things, I think it's kind of worth it. So if you wanted to become a member today, let me go ahead and jump to the great bonuses and all that fun stuff. And then I want to show you too, next in 2 weeks, we're going to have an actions class. So I want to show you like a sneak preview of how actions work. And Wendy is coming in to do a class October the 26th. For those of you who are members, you get to come to it for free. But hold on for 5 minutes. After I tell you about these bonuses, I want to show you a little bit about what that class is going to be about, if you can hold out. So those of you who are brand new and don't have any idea what Photoshop Elements, Photo Editing and DigiScrap Academy is all about, let me just show you really quick. Those of you who come to the live classes get a better discount and a better bonus, okay? These are the 2 bonuses. There's actually more bonuses, but these are the 2 big bonuses. You get $40 worth of shopping sprees. You also get last year's online summit, which is a $90 value, and this year's online summit. You get bonus templates from Connie Prince and droplets, which are easy to use. I show you exactly how to use them from Karen Schultz. And I also have a roadmap. In fact, I have that roadmap in the handout. So if you want to download that, you can do that. But as soon as you become a member, you get that roadmap that'll show you exactly how to get around inside the membership area. I'm not going to go inside the membership area yet. I'll save that to the very end. But right now, we're doing a special. I'm just going to jump through all this because I really want to show you a little bit of actions. It's pretty cool. We're going to be doing all of this for $309 for a year, but for the next half an hour, it's going to be $60 off of that price too. Once you are a member, you will keep that low rate that you signed in at. So somebody that maybe signed up in 2009, might only be paying $199 a year. Every year it goes up about $20 to $40 because there's so much more added each time. So right now the 1-year memberships are $249. They are going to go up next year. The 6-month memberships are $149. These are all the different bonuses. You can see them once you get to that page. I'm going to put a link to that page because basically you're not going to get this special on our site. Okay, so let me just put that link in here so that you have it. These will be good for the next half hour. And let's see, send it to all. Okay, I hope you can see that inside that questions box. 100% money back guarantee. This is the fast action bonuses. 30 minutes from now. Well, actually for 30 minutes from when my class ends, because I'm going to get some questions to y'all. You guys have some good questions, so I'm going to make sure that I answer those. And usually it's $309, $60 off for the next half an hour. That right there is where you would go. You have to type it in though. That is not a link. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's get in there and I'm going to show you just a sneak peek of the actions. The bonuses are only good for first-time members. Bonuses are only good because when you did sign up a couple years ago, you had different bonuses. The price has gone up, all that kind of good stuff. Okay. All right. So let me open this, and I'm going to show you. Okay, sneak peek actions. Now, there are lots of different actions out in the world. Wendy is one of the greatest action creators, okay? Her name is Wendy Zine. Have any of you guys bought any of her actions? Wendy Zine. Let me just type that in. W-E-N-D-Y-Z-I-N-E. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Wendy Zine Scraps. Okay, WendyZineScraps.com. I would suggest that you wait to purchase any actions until after you watch her actions class, okay? Because they are a little tricky, but I want to show you what an action is so that you know kind of what they are. Julie says, yes, her actions are awesome. Yes, I've purchased some of Wendy's actions, says Natalie. Cool. So Trisha has too. So it looks like she's got a good record. The other day I got something across my table. It was called Urban. Help me out, ladies. Hold on. Urban. Let me go look. Actions. Urban Bloom Actions. And I couldn't resist because they were inexpensive. However, they didn't work exactly how I wanted them to work in Photoshop Elements. Some of the actions don't work the same. So that's why I urge you to wait to buy your actions until you watch Wendy's class. But here's a cool action. See this photo right here? I really want some snow to be falling in front of his face. So if you look over here to the right-hand side, you'll see that I purchased Winter Wonderland Collection. Okay, by Urban Bloom Actions for photographers. See how it says snowflake right here, or flurries, or blizzard, or frosty, or keep going, keep going, keep going. So you can click on one of those and then see this little arrow that says play selection. You can click on that and it will play that action. And see how it added some snowflakes on the top? Isn't that cool? See if I turn them off, they're gone, and on, they're on. So that's an example of an action. Let me just try another one. I'm just going to close that one out, throw it away. Let's go with freezing rain. I have no idea what this is going to do. Click on the action, and then you can see the sleet. See the sleet? It's kind of hard to see. Let's do something a little bit more dramatic. Let's try flurries. Okay, those are little flurries. See the flurries there? Very, very little. So you can go ahead and try all these different ones. Snowflake. I'm just going to try to run 2 actions, see what happens over the top of each other. I think that that'll work. Yeah, there we go. So super cool. But here's another action I just bought the other day that worked better than I thought it was going to work. This one right here, I thought this looked a little bit cold and I didn't like it. So I bought these Urban. Let's see, where are they at? Oh, this one right here. It's called Autumn Color, but they don't work that great with Photoshop Elements. So they worked enough for me. So if you see here, it says Tone October. I tried to run that, and this is what I got. It says this adjustment layer is only in full version Photoshop. So I said, okay. And it kept going, continue. But look at this difference here. I like it. Even though it's not 100% Photoshop Elements, I kind of like the brown overlay. And yes, I could have done that with Photoshop Elements on my own, but with one click, it's kind of cool, right? So I just wanted to kind of give you a preview. She's going to show us how to install actions, where to find actions, things like that. Don't buy any until you watch her class. I'm super excited about having her come in and teaching a class. And those of you who are members get to come to it for free. And those of you who are not members, you can go to her class for $20. Okay, so any questions on membership? You're welcome, Janice. Any questions on membership? Let me go ahead and put this back up so you can see. There we go. So basically you get a lot of 4 years of members only classes. You get the introduction to Photoshop elements, you get intermediate, and you get advanced. If you're really interested, I can show you what it looks like inside the membership area. Those of you who are just definitely interested can say, I'm really interested to see what it looks like inside, and I can kind of give you a tour. I know a lot of you are already members, so this is the end of the class, so you can go ahead and take off, and I'm so glad you came. But those of you who are seriously considering membership, stick with me, and I will answer your questions only if you're seriously interested in becoming a member. I can give you a little tour, and then if you have questions after the tour, I can definitely do that as well. Okay, looks like a lot of you are interested. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you. Once you become a member, you can either go monthly, semi-annual, or annually. The annual is the best bang for your buck. You also get more bonuses, and you get that $40 shopping spree to Karen and Linda's site. That's a biggie. You don't have to use it right away. So once you become a member, you will log in. You will get all the information you need to log into membership. Save that welcome email. You click on login. You will type in your username and password. And yes, it's going to be a funky password, and no, you can't change it. I'm so sorry. And then all you have to do is click here to view videos. You will probably be getting a gold membership. And then you want to watch this welcome video. This is what you're going to see inside of the membership area. Hold on, let me skip this side by side so you can see both of these. So you are going to see, let me just pull this up and, oh shoot, let me just get this right here. Okay. So on the left-hand side is what it looks like inside of the membership area. We have versions 13, 14, and 15. I will be working on 2018 here once it really comes out and everybody's going to get, if everybody gets it. But just know that you don't have to have the latest version. So we got version 13, 14, and 15 in here. We do not sell the software itself. We only sell the actual training for it. So you have to purchase the software separately. We also have all of the members only classes from 2017, 16, and 15. We probably will be taking out 14 at the end of the year. We have, if you become a year member, you get the 2017 online summit. Let me just show you what that was all about right there. So we have titles, subtitles, and typography. We also have blending masks. We also have layout and design, and you get that for free. You also get the 2016 for free, you'll see here. And card and holiday tags, holiday gift ideas. This is from last year, all of the members only classes. Okay, there's so much information in here, both photo editing and digital scrapbooking. Okay, I kind of just am scrolling through all this so you can kind of visually see all the different classes. These are all 1-hour classes. If you start today, you will want to go into version 13, 14, 15. If you are in version 15, you just click on here to show what you're going to see here. I'm going to enlarge this so you can see it a little bit better. See over here to the left-hand side, it has a table of contents. So you can go in there and say, how do I organize? You double click on that. It starts to play that video for you. There's also, resolution. Talks about resolution. Here's the little showing and hiding of the table of contents in the bottom right-hand corner. So that's the introduction. It's 2 hours long. You want to watch that first. After you're done with the introduction, you move on to the intermediate. And that's about 2 hours long as well. So here's what is all covered in the intermediate. You can watch quick effects. You can watch the guided vignettes, how to do vignettes, text warping. You know, there's 2 hours worth of classes in here. So all in all, you want to watch the intro, intermediate, and advanced first, which is all in that first page there. Then you can move on to the members only classes and start following those. Monthly plan is $29 per month. You don't get all of the bonuses, which may not be a big deal, but month to month is fine. $29 per month. Let me pull this back up here so you can see. Hold on here. Let's go in here. See the different, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go to the site itself. Let's go to /special. This is what it should look like if you go there right now. Bonuses until Wednesday midnight. I probably will have them till midnight, but if you really want to make sure that you get all the bonuses, next half an hour is when I'm really going to be putting that $60 off of it. So it is already automatically set to have $60 off for the next half an hour, but the bonuses should be still good if you can't make it for the next half an hour. So there is the yearly, there is the 6-month, and there's the monthly. Is this only applicable to Photoshop Elements? Can it be used for Photoshop CC? So Pat, all of my classes are done in Photoshop Elements. Some people do have Photoshop and they are members because a lot of this stuff can be done in Photoshop CC. But I just want to be honest with you, I do only teach Photoshop Elements. Yes, you can upgrade at any time. You can cancel at any time and upgrade at any time. Darlene, the only thing I would be leery about is if you upgrade, you may not get the same bonuses because it just depends on what's going on at the time. And I'm sure you get that. Pam says, thank you so much. Everyone needs to be a member. Thank you, Pam. I know Pam's been a member for a while. Mary, I know, has been a member for a while. Usually, gosh, I've had so many members that have been with me for 7 years. It's super cool. Okay, let me see if there's any. Thanks for the PSE 2018 class. Learned so much so quickly. Thanks for the recordings. Excellent webinar. You are very welcome. Yes, Louise. And you can watch them inside the membership area within 24 hours. I'm going to be putting this very class inside of the membership area. Okay, if I missed any of your questions, I know there were some questions earlier and I may not have got to them. Put them back in there. Is the watercolor effect something that can be done in more steps in 15? Okay, Sue, good question. The Karen is doing a watercolor class in November the 8th to be exact, and come to that class and yes, you can do a lot of those effects in 15. So Sue, I don't know if you're a member or not. I think you are, but come to that class. And let me just show you here, Sue, and all other members. If you want to sign up for members classes, go to upcoming members only classes. And then this is where you would sign up. So October the 26th, how to use, install, and troubleshoot and shop for actions. Sign up for that here. And then watercoloring in Photoshop Elements, sign up for that. Cool. Yay. All right. Okay, Sharon says, since you've played with the trial version for a while, do you think you will buy? I will for sure, because I have to. Because in 2018, we will switch over to Photoshop Elements 18, but that doesn't mean that you have to buy Photoshop Elements 18. But I always try to use the latest version when I'm teaching. Okay, so yeah. Are all your classes recorded? Yes, every single one of them is recorded and put inside of the membership area. So you don't even have to come to any of them live. You can watch them the next day. It usually takes me about 24 hours. Okay, so Mary says, ooh, I'm totally waiting for 2018. Yes, more steps to get it done, but in 15, but I think it's cost effective to wait. I kind of thought you would think that, Mary. Once I played around with it, I got really excited about it and I really like it, but a lot of it you can still do in version 15. So some people skip one version. This could be the version to skip. And, but, it might go on sale for $49 at Costco, and you might say, hey, I want a Christmas present. So, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait it out. I think I will definitely have it by the end of the year, no matter what. But I'm kind of frugal that way, and I'm just going to see if Costco has it for sale. You are very welcome, Pat. Thank you so much, Kim. Bye for now. Any other questions on membership? I would love for you guys to become a member. We have a ton of fun. We have usually 1 to 2 members only classes per month. And also we have card design, we have 2-page spread design, we have family history class, all kinds of different classes in there. It would definitely be worth your money spent. Sharon says, I'm a NAIODS member. It's a great investment. If you enroll, you won't be disappointed. Thank you, Sharon. Yeah, and you guys kind of get a feel for how I teach. Now, we have other instructors. We love them. There's Karen from Snickerdoodle Design. She teaches classes. There is Linda Cumberland. She teaches classes. These are all really pretty well-known designers out there. There's Peggy, who's awesome. And then Wendy is also joining us. So she's very technical. She's got the actions down, that's for sure. Mary, you're so cute. She says, yes, yes, yes. Enroll now. Great group to be part of. You will constantly be learning fun tricks. She's my sales girl. That's my Mary, my Purple Mary. Mary's been with us for, I don't know, 5+ years, I think. Sue says, your whole program is awesome. I'm so glad I joined a few years ago. Thanks, Sue. Forever, Mary says, I've been a member forever. It is a fun group, and if you can't make it to the members only classes, not a big deal. You can always watch it later. Somebody is asking me to put up the page where you purchase, so it's called naods.com/special. I will go ahead and put that link in as well. Okay, everybody, I think my voice is going to be going here soon, so I hope that you all enjoyed it, and I hope you learned a lot. If you ever have questions about membership, just go ahead and email me at info@naods.com, and I will talk to you all later. Bye for now. Will you also put a link to sign up for members only classes? Yeah, Miriam, all you have to do, Miriam, I just read this, is go to, let me just put a link in there. Hold on. You go to naods.com and then click on upcoming members. There you go. There you go. Bye, everybody. Bye for now.